Welcome to another edition of Strange New Pod. I'm your Fleet Admiral and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of a malfunctioning holodeck because they malfunction all the time. Just ask
A lot.
Brad Boimler and those baby Borg. Those baby Borg. Though that wasn't a malfunction, he just wanted to keep going, which mad props to Brad Boimler there. But that's Lower Decks. We have a great show for you tonight. Joining us, as always, we have Commander Hawk, whose, I think, malfunctioning holodeck program probably includes a new Picard writing room, but then they start coming up with more bad ideas. And yeah.
Like DC Fontana and do the whole
Oh
season.
yes, just like resurrect DC Fontana for no
Yeah,
reason,
right?
just
Yes.
Yep.
because,
I like that idea.
Absolutely.
Yep. I like it. And then, of course, Captain Giraffe is here, and we already know her program in the command chair of a Daredex class Romulan Warbird. I don't know what the malfunction would be.
There's no malfunction. Who told
no?
you that?
Yeah.
Who said that? Don't give me names. Just give me names.
I give you no names. I'm not a member of the Tal Shiar. Maggie's asking if closed captions is on. It might be. If it is, let us know. I don't know how to turn that off. I'm running the show tonight. Rear Admiral Eric is not here tonight. He is stuck in his malfunctioning holodeck program where chocolate was a bad idea. I wasn't even there for that, but it's a funny joke. How we doing, guys?
Doing
Hanging
okay.
in there.
Hanging in. Giraffe, those ears are lovely.
Thank you. I bought them at LA Comic Con.
Yeah.
A crochet.
Yeah. It is closed captions are on. Is that true? Can someone else confirm on YouTube? I'll go on YouTube real quick and double check if they are. Give me 1 second, guys.
I don't see closed caption.
Maggie Light says she was able to turn it off.
Yeah, I don't see them on mine. I mean, you may need closed captions.
I don't see them either. I don't see them either, so that's okay. Wayner Road's just arriving. There was a lot of traffic leaving happy hour. I shut down the bar early. You have no excuses. It was fun though. I do want to thank everybody real quick who joined us post. Giraffe's frozen.
I'm frozen?
Oh no, you were for a second. Ha.
No, I'm just lagging myself, like in my own body.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh man. So yeah, we had a great happy hour about 2 hours before the pod. We had some really good chats and had some fun. So thanks to all of our amazing Patreon Collective members who joined us for that. I'm going to be doing something else. So who wants to read what's going on this week? What are we doing this week on the pod?
I'm gonna pass on everything.
You should pass on everything tonight. You have an excuse.
I'll do it. So this week on the pod, it's a holodeck episode. What happens when the holodeck malfunctions and sends the Protostar crew on a hunt for a skeleton key that takes them through each of their holodeck programs? And how is Janeway and the living construct involved? We're going to break it all down here. But first...
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm doing it tonight because I never do it. And I love our Patreon Collective so much. Matt's asking me how the tequila is treating me. Cheers, sir.
Woo.
There it is. I wish it was Romulan ale. My bottle did not arrive yet. It will.
Why not here?
I know. I'm so freaking jealous.
So
So jealous.
beautiful.
Oh, so jealous. Yeah. So I want to give some thanks to our amazing Patreon Collective at the Ready Room level and above. Thanks to Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Tallulah, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kang Hui, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernando Nogales, SMK, Laura Linderman, Colin Davidson, Alan Davis, Shatterhand 2049, Jesco, MC Frodis, Michael Graham, Emily and Travis, Gildara, Cassie, Raul, Holiday Glory to your house.
To yours as well.
To yours as well. Maggie Light, the ghost of Mission Seattle future, still too soon. Wayne Ritz putting on the Ritz. I made a joke about that later on in the show. Skonavark, Sean, Jay Howard, Mahalani Uchiyama, Matt Harker, Joshua Lewis, Cassie McIntosh, and two new collective members. Welcome to our two newest collective members, Tara Pollen and Slope 74. We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
I just, yeah. Like that's the ale.
I want it. It's so
And
beautiful.
that's the whiskey. Like a different color.
I
He's
cannot
laughing at my
wait.
pain. He's laughing at my pain.
No one's
No!
laughing at your pain. No one's
You're
laughing at your pain.
You're double fisting Romulan liquor. It's like I love it.
I mean, she's a
Yes.
Romulan, so she better be.
They're heavy too. They're like, yeah. One is called Romulan Blue. The other one Romulan Rye.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. They look so
And they're
good.
numbered.
Are they numbered? That's even
Yeah, they
better.
are.
I want my bottle. I want my bottle.
I mean, mine is like 5,624. So, it's not a very exciting number, but it is. The
It
rye
is.
is numbered. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And there's a little quote too
oh,
from the Wrath of Khan.
what's-
So cute.
Is it the one that why bones? Romulan ale is illegal. Is that the quote?
Yeah, Romulan ale? Why bones? This is illegal.
Yeah.
James T. Kirk, 2285, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
Well, we talked about this during happy hour, but as soon as my bottle comes, before Giraffe heads home, we are going to do a unboxing, unbottling, and a little taster live for you guys. So look out for that. Matt's asking Giraffe if it's a pop off or a screw cap.
That's a good question. That's a pop.
Oh, that's beautiful. Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're like there's a plastic thing like holding it together,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Nice.
So you can definitely like refill them once they're empty with blue
That's my plan.
color. Yeah.
Yep. We have some news. So we just released the first episode of an ongoing bonus pod series that we're doing called the Alpha Shift Ractogino series. I mispronounced Ractogino like 3 times in my interview with Chad. I felt horrible, but I wasn't gonna redo that take. Editing with an editor, I felt a little on edge. No, Chad's great. So that episode is live right now on Patreon. It is available to everybody, patrons and not patrons alike, for free. The ones thereafter that we do, Giraffe's got some coming up. She's going to mention those in a little bit. Will be exclusive to patrons for a month and then available to everybody else. But you can catch my interview with Chad Rubel right now. It's live on there. He's the editor for 2 episodes of Star Trek Short Treks, as well as seasons 3 and 4 of Star Trek Discovery. And we had a blast. It was so much fun. So check that out. Giraffe, I know you have some things lined up for that as well.
Like I don't have a certain yes yet.
No, that's okay.
But my interview will most probably, I hope, fingers crossed, include customers on Star Trek Picard, people working for IDW Star Trek, the comic books, and some cosplayers too. So that's what I'm trying to get in the books soon.
Nice.
But as I will be in France, it will have to wait a little bit for recording.
That's okay. That's okay. It's going to be an ongoing series. We're going to do them as they come. We're eventually going to have, I've talked to her about this, so I feel like I can say this, but we're going to eventually have Una McCormick back on to talk about Second Self with that amazing Picard novel that just dropped.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Read it. So good.
Read
There are Romulans in it.
There's Romulans. There's lots of Romulans. Oh,
Romulans, Cardassians, and all sorts of stuff.
Bajorans, archaeologists.
Starfleet.
Oh
Duh.
my God, lies
and deceit.
Secret passages.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Just I want
Yeah.
like out of all the Picard books, that's the one I like. I would pick up. I would pick up and read it again right now.
That should be Picard season 3.
Oh.
That I would watch the beep out of it.
Thanks for censoring
Like,
yourself. That means a lot.
you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
She's in too much pain to swear.
Exactly.
I'm also gonna bust these out. People on Happy Hour got to see them first if you missed our Twitter posts, but all of our patrons are going to get this awesome Borg Babies magnet, courtesy of Giraffe. She paid for these. These are a gift to you from her. Eric with the freaking amazing Borg baby design. It is wonderful. Can't wait.
Happy Klingon New Year.
Happy
and Borg
Klingon
solstice.
New Year. Glory to you and your Andorian houses. Can't wait to send those to you guys. I think that's it for news. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Giraffe, Hawk? No?
Oh, very soon there's gonna be a poll to decide. Oh no, we're not doing a poll.
We're not doing a poll.
No, in January
No.
we're gonna have our quarterly table read, but the episode is already decided, so no polls.
No
But that's
poll.
gonna be a fun one.
It is a surprise, and we may have a couple of surprise guests for that one. So
No way.
we will see. We will see. I'm trying to make some things happen. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Should we get to the strange new loop? Yeah? Let's do it. It's simple this week. I'm not throwing you guys for too hard of a loop. Maybe I am. I don't know. I could be lying. I'm probably lying. I like Romulans almost as much as Giraffe. I feel like I can't take away her thunder, even though they're my favorite villain too.
Oh, it's not gonna be a Roman one, I think.
No, I know. What is your holodeck program, and what ways would it malfunction? And YouTube Collective, please let us know what you think as well. What is your holodeck program?
I think I might already be stuck in a holodeck program because not anymore. I was playing God of War this week.
Ah, yes. Mine's going to be video game related too. That's funny.
Yeah. So if I was setting up like a holodeck simulation right now, that would be it. Problem is like, if the malfunction would probably be like the same thing that happened to me like when I was playing, and that spending like 3 hours trying to beat one boss battle.
Sounds about right. For God of War. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so tough. So good, though. Oh, and Christopher Judge just won the game award. Yeah.
Yes.
He just won
Yes, I saw that.
Teal'c, indeed.
So incredible. I think the companion did an interview with him not long ago. I need to check that out.
I love
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah. So I know we're reviewing Prodigy, so it's PG, so I'm not gonna go all Quark and holosuits for
Ooh.
my answer. But that'd be an answer. I have I think we already did a strangely new loop like this. I feel
We
like
did a
I went
version,
up
but we didn't ask why
on
it's
holodeck programs on
but we didn't ask
DS9.
why it's malfunctioning.
Oh. I think that the other use I'd have for holodecks. So I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you have these format of the game where you can just explore and visit all the temples and so on. And as a former archaeologist, I feel I'd love to use the holodeck to be able to just walk the street of a city at a different time, meet other people like Janeway who meets Leonardo da Vinci or things like that. I think the malfunction would be that it would come with like all the viruses and no vaccines and lack of human rights, like the thing that a lot of people who want to live in the past kind of forget. So that will be my malfunction.
I like it. Over on YouTube, Riftwood Chris writes, I'd be in an old jazz club and Riker would crash it kicking butt while not missing a beat on the trombone. Legit. Though it's malfunctioning because I've run it too long. Super Vic. Love it. Like that reference too. Also, Matt Harker writes, I'd be in a reenactment of the Goonies and the brakes would fail in the bike seat.
Don't make me laugh.
Oh my God. That's a good one. Oh my God. So good. Giraffe, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I knew what I was doing when I said
you
I was doing
did.
the podcast.
I gave you an out. You an out.
You asked me like 7 times, like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I gave you an out. Mine too is video game related, like Hawk. Warzone 2.0 is out. The new map is wonderful. But I would just like go in real, like with a parachute strapped, like guns blazing. But my malfunction would be something that I hate so much in the game, and that's dropping and immediately either getting shot to death by a pistol or pistol whipped, and it would just keep happening. I would keep dropping and dying right at the beginning of the ring. It would be like Groundhog Day in the worst possible way. So that is my But I would love, like, if I had a holodeck, I would totally do like battle royale all the time because no safety protocols. It would be so much fun. That sounds really messed up, but I like the sound of it.
It's a game. It's why we play video games.
It is exactly.
If we did the stuff in real life, we'd be
Listen,
in
I was
jail.
getting murdered by Gorns during the happy hour,
You're right.
getting like pulled up front on my face.
That's right. Giraffe thought she
Yeah.
was being all sneaky during the happy hour and like secretly like grabbed her controller. And I saw her like look at TV and like everybody's like having conversation like, and Giraffe is playing STO. Don't.
And I have to say that we're having like super deep
We were,
conversation too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just playing Star Trek Online. And Star Trek Online have been my saving grace during these 4 days of recovery because I'm unable to do anything. I can barely like move from like point A to point B, and I've been playing a lot of the winter events. I need a crew. Nobody plays. Why aren't you playing? It's so fun.
Because I did play for a really long time, and then the PC would not let me transfer my account to my PS5, so I'd have to start from scratch, and I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
No, sorry.
okay, valid.
Anything else for the Strange New Loop? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Good? All right. Let's get into it. It is our review of Star Trek Prodigy, episode 117, Ghost in the Machine, which, guys, I'm going to say right away before we even start, like once you get to the end of this episode, the writers' rooms are so damn clever with their names, because this is perfect. Like, there's literally a ghost in Janeway, like this living construct is manipulating her. It's like Sub Rosa all over again. It's brilliant. I hats off to the writing team. Our roundtable order tonight will be Hawk, then Giraffe, followed by myself. Let's talk about it. As we know, this usually in Star Trek would be a cold open, but they always do the credits first in Prodigy. But they're doing battle drills, right? These kids are doing battle drills, and that's like, that hurts you a little bit, right? Because they're doing everything in their power. They're trying their hardest to reach Starfleet, to the point where like they're doing drills. We know a little bit why as we get to the end of the episode, but still, like, thoughts on them doing this, because it's not that Janeway is just manipulating, like they want to do it too. Hawk.
I love the way it opened, and that is that the fact that they're not just doing battle drills and that for whatever encounter they have coming up with the Dauntless and that, but they're also trying to find a way to communicate with the Dauntless and let them know what exactly is happening. And they're trying to find like some very non-traditional means to do so. Using Morse code with the phaser array is definitely not working.
No.
It wouldn't work, would it?
I feel like it would, but we also
It would, yeah.
I feel like it would. That
yeah.
actually like was, why wouldn't that work? Janeway's smart. Erratic phaser fire not hitting the ship in like bursts like that. I feel like Janeway's smarter than that.
Yeah.
She has good officers too.
She does. She
I
has
feel
very
like
good
somebody
officers.
would like be. I mean, she doesn't have Tuvok. I would feel Tuvok would be the person being like, that is Morse code. But yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
But like I said, I love that it's in their minds. They're still trying to find a way to do this, to actually communicate with them. And you get a little dismayed when they realize that it might not work and that they might be in a lot of danger. And it's like, maybe we just best stay away from Starfleet for now. So, which was a little heartbreaking.
Yeah. Treff.
So I don't remember the question, but just the thing about the ghost in the machine.
Yeah.
It's a philosophical point too. It's how you speak of the mind in the body, and there's like a whole thing with Cartesianism and so on. But when I first saw the title of the episode, "The Ghost in the Machine," I immediately thought, oh, it can be the living construct, but it can be Janeway because she's the soul of the ship too.
Yeah.
And with everything we've seen in Discovery with Zora and so on, I think it's like they're hinting at a lot of philosophical, ethical questions, like we've seen in Discovery. Because if she's infected by the living construct, and the living construct is living, is she alive? You know, there are like many other questions that we can ask about this whole thing. So what are they going to do? Are they going to abandon her like we see Zora in Calypso, for example, because there's a virus that she cannot be contacted, but if she's alive, you know, there's like so many.
It
opens a lot of doors.
But it
What?
reminds me a lot of like, with Data and that, like when hit the switch flipped in his head and he took over the ship and that to, on
To go
command
see
from
Sung.
his father.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very similar. I mean, like when you get down to it, and Janeway is still her programming and that, but there is just like a little bit of a subroutine in that programming and that kicked in, once the kids said that they weren't going to even try to make contact with Starfleet.
Yeah.
But the
So-
hologram by herself, she's not alive. She's an AI, right?
correct.
Mhm.
But the living construct being living, I mean, we suppose, and now being one with her, we suppose, she's a Zora, basically. She's going to be a sentient being. Is that, and this is the whole question of dualism between mind and body, the ghost in the machine, right? It's, we cannot separate our mind from our body. Like, we should
Yeah.
not be, there will not be, I think it's hitting at the idea that they will not be able to separate the living construct of the ship because it's one with Janeway, who is the soul of the ship. I mean, I'm
Oof.
going too far, but
No, I mean,
No,
dang.
these are.
Wow.
I think the writers are thinking of these things too.
yeah.
This is where this is. And I know we talked about this during the happy hour, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it tonight. Like there is this feeling that this episode was very much like one of the episodes that felt more like a kid's show than a lot of the others. But then we have these conversations, and you realize how deep Prodigy goes, and even though they're writing the show for kids, how much they're thinking of people like us, podcasters, Trekkies, fans who do go deep down the rabbit hole, guys like Jorg on Twitter. I mean,
Aaron, I see you in the comments. Aaron Wildkeys.
Aaron, welcome. Wow,
Hey.
special guest in the chat. He's like,
Hey.
don't say anything. We haven't watched any of the next episodes, so this is all guessing. But
Well, and with what we spoke about the preludes last week,
yeah,
again, we're hinting at a lot of like philosophical question about like, the mind, the body, death, what happens. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next episodes. What was
Aaron's
the
totally
question?
judging us right now. Always thinking of Strange New Pod when we make the show. No,
Yes.
I hope not. Please, no, don't, no. No, I meant more like thinking of Trekkies and people that like to like go down the rabbit hole of really thinking these things out. The question, Giraffe, was these kids trying their hardest to reach Starfleet to the point where they're doing battle drills, right? Like this is something you'd see like Jellicoe, driving into Delta Shift,
Yeah, well, I think again we were speaking about video games, but there is this moment where you're like, I'm missing something, and you go again and again and again and again for the same mission. You're like, it's not working. Why it is not working?
Yeah.
And I think Zero says, there's a solution that we have not found yet, or something like this, and it's not there yet. Oh, Olago and Janeway, I don't remember who says that, but and there's this feeling because it's a show, you're like, oh, they're gonna find a solution. It's gonna be something brilliant like Morse code, and then they're like, no, the Morse code actually doesn't work, which is weird because it may work. They didn't try, right?
It's not a real try, right? It's
Yeah.
it's against the holodeck. I am of the opinion that it would work.
And the other thing is that the holodeck is not taking into account the fact that Janeway knows that they are kids and that they are in a difficult position and all this, that she has now knowledge of what's going on that
Yeah.
they don't know she knows. They don't know
Well,
she
I
knows.
actually would love to
They
know what
know
Aaron
she doesn't
thinks.
know he knows.
I would love to know what Aaron thinks, if he thinks that the Morse code would work if they were in that real situation. I'm curious.
The Morse code would have worked.
I think I 100% think it would have worked. Before we go any further, I forgot to put this in the outline, but I do have to say, speaking of the amazing Prodigy team, because Chris mentioned that part was so cool, doing the battle drills and thinking, when the eyes scanned, the animation there. I want to give a huge congratulations to I hope I don't butcher the name, Alessandro Taini, who is the art director on Star Trek Prodigy, who took home an Emmy for outstanding individual achievement in production design for Star Trek Prodigy. So
Wonderful.
congratulations. Like that's huge. This show is so beautiful. I wanted to make sure I said that on the show tonight. Yeah. Should we get to the next question? I will say that I do think that the Morse code would have worked. I thought it was a little sad seeing them have to do this because they're so desperate to reach them. They're thinking of any possible way to get there. And you know, we do learn obviously at the end of the episode that it's Janeway's manipulation to a point. But like I think Dahl says it in the episode, like, or I think it's Dahl or one of the main characters says, we want it just as much. It's not just you know, Janeway manipulating us. Like we want it just as much. So it's a little sad that these kids have to like do that.
Aaron says in the comments, so we'll never know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Almost like we'll never know. Almost like there was a subroutine blocking Janeway from suggesting any solutions that may actually succeed.
Very. I like it. Nice. Let's get to because this was in the end. We were talking about the holodeck and the Strangely Loop. This is a holodeck episode, a good, fun holodeck episode, as
Classic
I have it on
Star
here.
Trek.
Classic Star Trek. Holodeck gone wild and Zero's program. Hawk, what did you think of the what? It's the Donnie Darko reference, Giraffe. What was it called?
My God!
Yeah,
please.
I was gonna leave that for Giraffe because she pointed that out. But yeah, you know, first up, I did love their little mess hall scene in that, you know, where they're just basically lumping their prop. The ice cream was just amazing.
Why would anyone whip cream? I will say that always, every time now. Why would anybody whip cream? Pour cream.
I did love how kind of subtle it started out, you know, like Dahl hearing that music while he's trying to fall asleep, and then Gwen working out and seeing like a ghostly figure walking past, and that I'm glad they caught on really quick that they never actually left the holodeck. And then seeing like, you know, the cellar door club, and that who knew Zero would be into like a Nancy Drew Hardy Boys kind of environment.
Zero is a well-rounded Medusan. I love them. Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm not like, it was kind of that typical thing. It's like, okay, since the holodeck's not working and that, it's like we'll have to follow its routine, and that way we'll open the door. And that again, you know, a good you know, jump of reason, I shall say. And typical of like a good holodeck episode of Star Trek.
Aaron.
Yes. Thank you. I've been at it for literally 24 hours. So, okay, the Donnie Darko thing.
Aaron does right. Zero loves Donnie Darko. Confirmed.
Thank you. So when I watch the screener, there are no subtitles. So sometimes I don't catch everything. I didn't understand that he was saying cellar door society. I just hear like cellar door society. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going through the motion. And when I watched today with subtitles, I was like, is that a Donnie Darko reference? And I kept asking everybody, is that a Donnie Darko reference in Prodigy? And I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's a Donnie Darko reference, because yes, fantastic.
That is amazing. I haven't seen Donnie Darko in probably over 20 years now.
I'm rewatching it.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
Are we having a Donnie Darko watch along after the pod
Let's have
tonight?
a Donnie Darko watch along, like Zero. And no, I love them. I love the fact. So I know we're gonna go through the little vignettes,
programs,
right?
vignettes, yeah,
programs. And all the reference. So Lower Decks give us that episode with, you know, with the museum where they have to go from room to room, and there's so many Easter eggs, so many references. It's an escape room kind of episode. Prodigy does it in a very classic Star Trek holodeck, explaining the holodeck to people at the same time, which nice touch. But I like the fact that yet again, yes, it's a classic episode, but that's not going where we think it's gonna go.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was great, because at the end I was lit. I was like, oh,
yeah,
nice. But the Cellar Door Society, yes, I would love to run that program. It looks so fun.
It does look really fun. It does.
And I love the graphic of the skeleton key. I have a question, because we don't see it very well in Picard. But doesn't look like the key in Picard season 2?
I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. But
okay, it made me think of it.
You never know. Yeah. I really liked Zero's creation a lot, because I'm going to get to the Easter egg. But The biggest thing I want to say about it, and this is jumping all the way to the end of the episode where we find out that the skeleton key isn't real. It's just something that Janeway's using to keep them off her track. I'm gonna try and have my own giraffe is right moment, and as always, I will end up being wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think that the skeleton key is 100% real, and it wasn't mentioned for no reason. I think there is a skeleton key, and I think that skeleton key is somewhere aboard Protostar in its computer, and it's going to be a way to deactivate the living construct. I don't think it was put into the episode for no reason. So the whole thing with the skeleton key, it was a big focus on this episode. I think it's more important than we think it is, and that the episode made it out to be. So we'll see. I'm usually wrong. I love the big skeleton key chest tattoo on the Tellarite. Like, that was epic and amazing.
It was way better than the chest, the back tattoo in Lower Decks. That's for sure.
Oh boy.
It's true. That didn't make you think of that episode for real?
Wait, are you talking about the map? Like the map on the flaps?
Yeah, the map.
No, it didn't make me think about the flaps. No.
I think he's trying very hard to forget about the flaps.
Yeah. Oh man.
Sorry, I should add that is a good theory though, in that if there's living construct and that is like this indestructible weapon, and that must have a fail safe, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
It must have some kind of fail safe.
Oh, the living construct, absolutely, and I think that's a skeleton key. What does a skeleton key do?
Gwen does open the compartment for the living construct by transforming her. What do you call that? I forgot the name.
Fretwork. If we're going by the video game, it's called fretwork. Yeah.
The fretwork into a key. So I was like, oh, is that what they're talking about? I mean, like
100%.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think the skeleton key.
I'm interested in that theory.
I think the skeleton key is real.
The skeleton key was the friendship
that we made along the way.
Along the way.
Oh, speaking of Tellarites with chest tattoos, let's talk about moving on after they move on to another program, and we find out that Jankum is still feeling a little hurt and bitter about his encounter with Janeway's medical officer, Jason Alexander. Still love that Jason Alexander is in Star Trek again. What did we think about his program where he's basically using it to kick their butts all over again because he was insulted by him? It's a very Jankum thing to do. Yes, Hawk?
Very much so. Yeah, I can see him doing a program exactly like this and that working that out. Big compliments to not only like the art directors in that, but also Nami in that, who really had to transition quite a bit, like musically in this episode. And that because we go from Cellar Door Society to 80s movies like the Warriors, or
a little bit
awful, or those awful death. But like the music was perfect, and that it's like that weird hard rock that they throw into that stuff.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that, like, it was great. And obviously, the next part, and that finding that Tellarite with the tattoo, which we've been talking about. I'm good.
I like that the Tellarites are the default background people on the holodeck, on the Protostar. Like, I like it because we're so used of like all the background actors being humans, I suppose. Every time they run a holodeck program, I'm like, okay, Tellarites. Yes,
yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that because Jankum fixed the holodeck and that's why everybody is a Tellarite? I like punks in Star Trek. I like when they have like the bad guys in a back alley. It's like such a trope that comes again and again and again, and
it could almost be like Jankum's holodeck and Murph's holodeck could almost be like a piece of the action, like a little bit, right? Throwing back to TOS and like the mob stuff, a little bit, like a piece of the action. Big goodbye. Thank you, Matt, for getting my Streets of Rage reference. Sega Genesis Blast from the Past. Yes.
That's definitely a blast from the past. All right.
Yes.
Like the past.
Okay, hey, you're older than me. Come on, let's
I
stop
know,
that.
I remember that. That's why I'm like, whoa, that was a long time ago, man. No, I love these you these I don't want to call them trope, but like colors that we see in Star Trek and again the holodeck episode in Lower Decks with the punks and in front of the museum.
Oh, that was so good.
And I was like, is Jankam gonna steal their pants? Like I was like literally like going through the episode one behind the other and being like, there's so many I don't know how to say that. It's imitation, but in a way that is the it's just fun. I love seeing punks on bus, punks in back alleys. Like every time we have a new iterations of the punk in Star Trek. So yeah, to write punks with back tattoo.
I want
Why
to know
not?
what Jenkum was doing. Like, was he doing like some Rau, like Hadouken, like when he was like doing the energy balls, like that? Like Jenkum doesn't have secret powers or anything.
But again, I've been like,
It's the holodeck, too.
complaining. I've been complaining that Jenkum didn't have a backstory, right?
And now he
That
does.
We were not
Yeah.
being attached to the character because we didn't know anything about Jenkum and he just didn't want to do things most of the time. And now he has that backstory and we see his insecurities too.
Yeah.
Because he's totally running this program because he got insulted by the other guy. What's his name? The doctor.
Yep.
And they all look like the doctor.
They do. Yep. Before we move on to our next one, Aaron, I know you're obviously not a guest on the show and you're just chatting along with us tonight, but I would love to know your answer to our Strangely Loop tonight. If you'd like to answer in the chat, would be your holodeck program and why would it be malfunctioning? I'd really like to know. So if you feel like answering, go ahead, but no pressure at all.
He says live on the
yeah,
internet.
Right? Yeah, no pressure, live. Murph. Let's talk.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about Murph. Let's talk about Murph, baby. Let's talk about speakeasies. I did it. I made it work.
Nice.
I did
Good
it.
job.
Brittany will be proud.
I saw Brittany today, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really know what else to say, but Speakeasy and Murph, it was this ridiculously beautiful thing that had no business working, but it worked. Hawk.
Well, I love the transition into black and white. It was very well done. And this, yeah, exactly. It shouldn't have worked. This is Murph. Like Murph's holodeck program is him at a speakeasy and that doing like old kerning tunes. And
It was the best idea. It's the best idea. I dare you to get a better idea than this.
I don't know what else I would have done with Murph. Like I wouldn't have ever thought of it, but I don't know what I would have done. Like what else? Like
yeah, like Murph's basically a toddler at this point, but maybe like more of an intelligent toddler. But it worked. I don't know why. It just did. It was beautifully animated. It looked good.
It works because it brings more questions
Right.
and answers. And I like the fact it's like everybody, like all of them are mind blown too. Like, but is Murph singing?
Or is Murph lip syncing? Yeah.
I think lips.
I'm like, how did Murph found out about lip syncing, about singing? But I have so many questions. And like they could have gone like something very easy, like I don't know, he's taking holidays on Riza or just like hunting little bugs in the forest, or I don't know, something animal-like kind of, but they went the most absurd, insane, like I don't know, idea possible, and I love it. It's so good.
It was.
It's so good.
It is.
It works so well. And I like the fact that they're all like, what?
And how about the fact that all these kids, like, were basically mostly like Delta Quadrant aliens and that are like obsessed with Earth, like iconography.
We figured out finally, and that because Paramount's been posting, and I know Aaron's actually been writing a good amount of these, the logs. The Kazon that were kidnapping all of the prisoners for the Diviner were caught using old Borg transwarp network conduits. So they're not originally from the Delta Quadrant. They're from all over. So crazy. I just wanted to point that out because it's very important to the story, I feel. So
Cool.
go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
That's okay. Like I said, like they're all from different worlds and that they're obviously going through all the programs and looking here and there and that, but they're obsessed with like Earth minutia, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like the way like you see in Star Trek, they're watching old movies and that, and you think, why are they watching old movies? And
Buster Keaton, right? They were watching. Yeah.
Oh, the day the Earth stands still.
The day
Yeah.
the
Strange New
Pike's
Word. And I
favorite
was like,
movie.
Yeah.
that's a deep cut, man. Like, that's an old movie by any standard.
Though-
It's a great movie. I love that movie.
It's a great
The
movie.
costumes are incredible.
I am going to
Very good
nitpick.
movie.
I am going to nitpick and question how Dahl knows what an overdue book is. But
Yeah, I had the same question when I saw that. I was like, okay, libraries. Okay.
libraries.
Yes.
Yeah, I
let's
guess
go.
every planet has a library.
I don't imagine he grew up with a Ferengi. I don't imagine that Ferengi would be very pro public
No,
libraries.
you probably
but-
have to pay
Yeah.
for books even in a library if you grew up with a Ferengi. Yeah.
But no, and that whole scene, the music, it was so good. And I like the fact that the result again, Rock finds the solution.
Yeah.
She finds a solution in the Solar Society. She finds a solution with the missing key. She finds a solution again in the next one.
Yep.
Rock is a
Rock
genius.
is a genius. We know this already though.
Yes.
Rock is a freaking genius. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before I go, I just want to say Aaron answered my question as far as what his holodeck program would be. He would just live in the elementary My Dear Data program and encourage Moriarty to tell him all of his villainous secrets. It's a perfect answer. We have a bot.
We have a bot.
Do we have any of our mods on? We need more mods. We just remove these. Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Oh, it's an attack.
This
It's
is
an
what
attack.
happens when
Oh.
Eric isn't here. We just get spammed
See?
with bots.
This is why we need the Jadvash. I just want to say.
Oh my god. How
that
do I block them?
this is why we need the Jadvash. We're overrun by the AIs.
Give me a second, guys.
Fitting for this episode, though.
Remove.
Yes, please remove. Hide
Okay.
user. Boom. I think
Here we go.
okay. I think we're good. Okay, so for me, I loved this so much. It was a mix of like just everything good. It was a little bit of Big Goodbye. It was a little bit of PC the Action. It's a little bit of like, the first contact scene in the speakeasy, and I just like I loved it. And the fact that whether Murph is lip syncing or not, there's another big reason that I love this scene and Rock especially figuring out the issue. It's because two of my favorite shows on television connected in a really weird way. And I'm going to say for anybody in the chat who watches Lock and Key, spoilers for season 3 coming up. I'm giving you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. There's a point near the end of season 3 in Lock and Key where the kids are inside one of the characters' minds, and the character is dying, and they're looking for a way out. And it's this very thing, like subterfuge, and there's all sorts of hidden passages, and they figure out where the hidden key is the same way Rock figures it out. It's in one of the piano keys, and it's just one of those cool little coincidences that I absolutely just thought was really cool. I immediately thought, oh my god, like I just watched this very cool thing, but it was done in a completely different way in this episode, and I love when things like that happen. But the black and white, this is now back-to-back seasons of a show that have gone black and white. Lower Decks did it with Shax and Tiana,
Yes.
and they're bonding live.
Again, the same episode.
Right? It's so good. Oh man. It's so good. It's so good. I loved Murph.
And they crawl out of that program
by going through the piano.
by going through through a tunnel or like a tube. I don't remember. The same way they crawl out through the piano. So I
Oh
was
right.
like,
And the
Like,
last
That's
thing
very
I'll,
nice. It's nice.
the last thing I'll say, this is one of the very few episodes of Prodigy that I didn't get to watch with my kids because I was hosting the happy hour tonight. But they had it on while I was doing the happy hour, and I could hear what the scene was, and it was Murph on stage, and all of a sudden I just hear manic laughing from Cecily. So this scene just hit hard with her. She was losing it for this. So job well
Nice.
done. Finally, I don't know. Doll likes pirates. I guess that's what happens when you live with a Ferengi. Drink up, me hearties. Doll and pirates. Hawk.
I love. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead, Draft. Go ahead. Just go. We're
Yeah,
going wild
Just because
tonight.
he says like, I just want to have a program where the crew listens to me.
Right, where I feel respected.
Yes, I feel you, Don. I feel you.
Oh, you feel Doll? Did you read the outline tonight, Giraffe?
No, I did not. But you
Yeah.
can feel Dal too.
I don't feel respected.
I'm here.
You
I'm
are
here.
It's true.
I'm here on the pain medication. So please.
She's a trooper. Yes, Riffwood, it was the trash can in the Lower Decks episode that they escaped
Yeah.
through,
It is.
through the
Yep.
junction panel. It makes sense with Dahl and that, not only, with like growing up as he did with Ferengis and pirates and everything and that, but also he'd probably be looking at like the history of captains on the holodeck, right? And, what better way to study like what being a captain in a naval capacity was than being a pirate captain.
And looking at Blackbeard.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a bit like Riker looking up Archer.
Oh, why? Why would you go there?
Because you're like checking captains in the holodeck. I had to do it. But it made me think it's Generations, right?
It is, yeah. Like walk
Starts
the plank.
with the
Number one,
that's-
that's retract the plank. I love that
And
scene.
by the way, I will die on that hill that it was actually super funny that pushed her.
Oh,
water.
100%. It was hilarious. Yep.
Everybody needs like,
everybody
to
else
chill.
is just stuck up on that ship.
Yeah, I'm like, that's absolutely hilarious. Come on, 10-10 joke, Dada. You nailed it. So yeah, I just think again, like classic trope, the pirates, the ship. I mean, the Enterprise is a ship, right? I mean, has been a ship throughout the centuries. So I just love the little nods like this. I have to re-listen to the music. Was that the Generation music?
I don't
You
think there was
hear
any
something?
Generation. I didn't hear any.
Nah.
Generations also doesn't have like the most memorable scores either. So not
Hey,
knocking
okay.
whoever
Listen,
wrote it.
I
but-
hate that movie, so I'm not gonna fight you on this.
Oh, so Aaron answers this perfectly. Originally, that was pitched as the HMS Enterprise from Generations, but we decided the pirate
Boom.
crew was more dull in his private time rather than the British Royal Navy. Yeah, than the British Royal Navy. That's accurate
makes-
for dull. It makes perfect
it
sense.
Yeah, because he's not a captain who rose up through the ranks and that of a system and
No.
that,
Oh no, he's a pirate captain. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
I just my favorite part of this is the fact that the big monster that comes up is Rock's like favorite squishy, and it's a giant like it turns into a giant octopus. It's very anime
Rock's-
too.
Rock is using the holodeck to hunt Pokemons. She's like the
Yes.
Pokemon doctor.
It's Pokemon
you know?
Go for Starfleet. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the doctor. So I suck at Pokemon. So sorry, don't come at me with this. But like they have a hospital, no, for Pokemons at the beginning, right?
Wait,
no,
what?
a clinic or something like this where they heal the Pokemons.
I
Is
know
not a
nothing about.
nurse?
If Cecily was awake and on the show, she would know the answer.
Tell me.
I
Tell
think
me,
it's
I'm
like
too old to have
got
like
the-
been into Pokemons.
Yeah, I got
What?
the impression it's more like a Stardew Valley program that she runs, where she basically
But
like
she has a hospital. She has a veterinary hospital, and then they all have like different names and nomenclature. Like
Wait, are we
one
still
is
talking
like,
about? Are we still talking about Rock Talk?
yeah,
Wait, she has a veterinarian. She has
yeah.
a-
Her holodeck program is a veterinarian hospital, like the Delta something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nurse Joy. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. See, I knew what I was talking about. Yeah. So she just have a holodeck where she's like helping different kind of creatures. One is like the sparkly kisser lips, or the one is like the squishy tentacle monster thingy. So I feel she has like a whole nomenclatura of little Pokemon thingy that she heals on her veterinarian hospital on her holodeck, and I want to see that program. She works at the Pokemon hospital. See?
By the way, we were talking about this during the happy hour. Paramount once again missing out on merch. I would buy a plushie of Rock's tentacle monster.
oh my god,
I'm just saying, I would buy one. Pointing that out.
Yes.
Make it happen. Are you good?
Um,
No, keep going.
No, yeah. So that's the only program we don't get to see,
I
and I'm very
know.
sad
Yeah.
because I want to see, like an ER or an what's that? This like hospital show where Rocktack is like the doctor, is Doctor House.
Dr.
For
Rock
little,
medicine
yeah,
Brickar.
for like different little squishy toys that she invented. I find it adorable, and what a great way to learn science too.
Chris writes, this is my biggest takeaway too, besides the giant monster. I really laughed when the crew member said he was jumping over the edge to look below. So absurdly perfect. That is a GIF I am probably going to post tomorrow. I loved it. Aaron writes, one Sparkle Sea Hugger plushie, please. Yes.
The Delta Heart
Please.
Hospital. Thank you. The Delta Heart Hospital was the name of the program. So she's running a veterinarian hospital for little squishy toys and plushies.
That's so rock talk. It's beautiful.
That's so cute.
Finally, Zero convinces them all to get, I believe they get crushed by giant Sparkle Sea Hugger plushie, which does finally end the program. And it is revealed that the living construct has been manipulating Janeway's program in order to make sure the kids fulfill their mission of getting to Starfleet, because the living construct wants to destroy Starfleet from within. So that's by any means necessary, to the point now where Janeway / the living construct has Dahl's command codes. I'll save it for the Easter egg hunt because it's brilliant. But what did we think about the ghost in the machine? The big reveal here at the end, Hawk.
I caught on to it in that when Janeway asked all for the command codes.
You're better than me. I didn't even,
because I told it. You're not a Rick and Morty fan.
Nope.
Back in season 1, there was a very similar situation like this, with this alien race trying to get Rick's teleportation formula.
Yes.
So it was simulation after simulation after simulation.
Yes. My man. Hungry for apples? I watched Rick and Morty too. Anyway, sorry. I broke Hawk.
But yeah, this once Janeway got a hold of the command code, I was like, this was the whole point of it. Putting them through like kind of like almost like this wild goose chase and that, which is as for a holodeck episode and that to be a total misdirect, and that the real objective trying to get a hold of the command codes. I knew something was up at that point, and then like once the reveal came out, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
I'm surprised that you haven't done your Eric Bana impression yet when Nero is asking Pike for his command codes.
The command codes, sir.
Captain Christopher Pike, something serial number, blah, 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 blah. Eel down the throat. Yum, yum. Oh, man. Draft, thoughts?
Again, very good, excellent writing of a classic Trek. So I like when it's classic, but I really like too when it goes somewhere that is not the classic episode Star Trek way. I remember wondering why the living construct was not affecting hologram Janeway. I remember being like, I wonder why, she's like still allowed to do whatever she wants. But then I just brush it like, oh, okay, like techno bubble, blah, 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 secret thing. If she doesn't know it's here, then she cannot say anything, But definitely makes sense. And I love the moment when Zero goes, we're not supposed to continue looking for the answer. And I was like, what? Like, I definitely didn't see that coming at all. I totally was in elementary Dear Data, like, oh, they're going to find a solution, or like Fair Heaven, or like any holodeck mystery, Dixon Hill.
Fistful of datas.
Yeah, a fistful of datas. And the fact that the real answer is to not find the answer, again, I could go off how it's important for kids to learn that. It's very good lesson. And to just wait. And I mean, that's such a gamble because they could literally die. somebody has to explain to me why you can disengage the safety protocols on the on any holodeck.
You really
Ever?
should not be able to ever. That should not be a feature aboard a starship, period, end of story.
Right? But I mean, that goes for good stories, so that's why I suppose. But like the liability of these things is mind-boggling. And in Voyager, when they just let the kid play by herself in the holodeck, it's like so many things can go wrong, and you know it.
Poor Naomi Wildman.
Naomi Wallman, that creepy holodeck thing.
Oh,
It is creepy. It is insanely creepy, right? Anyway, I really like that the answer is to not look for the answer.
yeah.
Because it's a wild goose hunt. So that's actually, I don't think I've seen another Star Trek episode where the answer was to not look for the answer.
Mhm.
No, I don't think so. No,
And that's good. That's great.
it's
That's
really
Aaron,
cool.
Aaron
Very,
explains
very
it
good.
perfectly in the chat.
Storyline. Sorry?
Aaron explains it perfectly in the
Sorry, I
chat.
forgot there was a chat. I'm
We
going to read that. We try to use the tropes against the audience to subvert expectations in the form of narrative sleight of hand. Everyone was expecting the safety protocols to go offline. Few knew it was a ruse. Yes, absolutely. And see, but that's when, for example, in Lower Decks, when they go for the trope and they go full trope and they don't subvert anything in the trope, you're like, there's 800 episodes of Star Trek before you.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the same trope again doing the same way. Even if I love Lower Decks and I had a lot of fun, like having this extra little cherry on the top to add to our data bank of like, you remember like that whole deck program though didn't go this way, and like to open the doors to more other types, that's very bad English, other type of Lower Decks programs or like Lower Decks episode. That's great.
I loved this reveal, and it's so funny because I think I was chatting with you guys today. I was like, I know I texted Draft this morning. I was like, I feel like I don't have a lot to say about this episode. Obviously, we do because we've been chatting about it for a really long time now.
And I answered, I have opinions.
Yes, and answered, I have opinions. Like it's a lot deeper than you think it do. And the more that we've talked about it tonight, the more I actually really enjoy this episode. And the more I think that this whole skeleton key thing is real. The way that it was mentioned earlier by Chris, like the living construct, like you could see the glow of it in Janeway's eyes, like when they're realizing this was happening. She's like, I don't remember any of this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I would never do anything to harm you. I think the skeleton key is real, and I think this is going to be a journey to find it. And maybe that skeleton key is possibly even within Janeway. Maybe they need to go hunting through it through
Do you
her
think
programming.
Chakotay has hidden a skeleton key,
I think
like
it's
a
very
subroutine program?
I think it's very plausible. I think it's very plausible, and I like that a lot. But this is just a goosebump inducing moment when we realize that this is happening. And it made me like I love this show, obviously, and I'm always excited for the next episode. But this is the first time that Prodigy's given me like the goosebumps, like, and I didn't do it because I don't really like watching the shows without my kids, but like I have to go watch my next episode screener. I got the goosebumps feeling like I need to do this right now because I want to know what happens next. And I did everything in my power.
We left Janeway in a very weird situation too.
Yeah.
I was hoping that we would have like a little bit more information.
No, it's just it's a straight up cliffhanger, and it's so well executed, and
like the way it bookends itself.
Oh,
in
it's
that,
perfect.
The very beginning, and to place them in the exact situation they're trying to come up with a plan.
Yeah, with
for.
a dawn. Oh, and we know in that situation too that's not Janeway in command of the Dauntless because the judo chop happens in the last episode. Oh,
I like when the audience knows more than everybody else on the show.
right.
You know.
Oh.
Sorry, Hawk. I jump.
No,
it was me. You cut me off. No, it's okay. I just like making you cringe. It's my job in life. Even when you're healing, it's my job in life. No, I loved this ending. I thought it was super well done. I like that Janeway's a little creepy at the end too. It's a little horror movie, and I really like that.
You know what it made me think of? Arium. I know, I knew we were gonna do that. But when her eyes goes red, like with the it was like literally exactly like in Discovery when you see Arium's eye with like the 3 dot of control. And that's why I started reflecting about Ghost in the Machine, you know, because Arium is the ghost in the machine too. She's a mind inside a body that is not our own anymore. She is controlled by control. There's like a lot of like layers that I need to
You just
like think
gave me
about.
so many feelings. It's not.
And that's why, and that's the thing. It's like they cannot take control out of Arium, right? And she sacrificed herself. And I feel the same, like kind of like doom. We've had this like impending doom building in this last episode with preludes, with this one, like this, like it's like getting like hotter, you know, like it's getting like more uncomfortable. So
and Matt brings up a great point too, like when the synths went wrong in Picard, you know, when the Mars attack happens. Lots of possible connections, maybe not connected at all. Maybe it's
if the living construct is not linked to the synth attack,
you want to be right so bad about this. I can't wait to I can't wait to find out.
I may be wrong, but I want to be right because I think it's such a good story.
Rift, Chris is saying Janeway is control, still saying it. We'll find out. Should we get to any other thoughts on this before we move on to the Easter egg hunt?
Just like the end, the last frame, like the last moment where we see like Holochain face at such beautiful animation, like you see so many feelings. I'm always amazed when an animated face can like convey so much
beautiful animation. It is just a super haunting final frame of this specific series, which is aimed towards kids. Like, it freaked me out a little bit, and I like that. I like that it made me a little bit icky. Like, it made me really feel something.
I think Prodigy is just brainwashing the kids to join the Jadvash and be against AI. We see what you're doing.
Yeah. Easter egg hunt time, folks. Does anybody have any that aren't on my list before I go down this?
I didn't look at your list, so I'm gonna tell you which one I have. Where's my list?
All around me.
Okay, so I put the skeleton key in Picard, but you tell me it's not. But
I could be wrong. I like it though. Maybe it's an Easter egg. I don't know.
The idea of like the skeleton key that it appears at different places in the house in Picard, like I don't know. Celador, Donnie Darko. I put like reference to Lower Decks episode with the programs, you know. With the tattoo, the crawling out of the black and white programs, blah blah. I wrote no safety protocol equal every single Trek ever. At one point, Rock does a Hulk smash.
A
Hulk smash.
Rock finally gets a little down and dirty. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I put like the club, ref to DS9 and First Contact. The both generations, and then I wrote Rogue has holodeck Pokemons.
Yes.
I wrote a line that I really like though. My father put the weight of our world on my shoulders without ever asking me.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful line.
We didn't talk about the fact that the diviner was the bartender. That was a really cool scene between him and Gwyn, even though, you know, it's not really him, but still very cool. Hawk, did you have any?
Nothing that hasn't made the list already.
All right, so the top one on this list, Haven noticed this bright and early this morning. The doll's command code GB64N32X is a list of old gaming consoles. This is brilliant. Game Boy, the Nintendo 64, and I believe the Nintendo 30. The 32X was a Sega machine,
way!
Right? Yeah.
No, I remember that. Yeah,
it's in the. Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna go watch that. Where is it? Is it in the spoiler chat?
It's in the spoiler chat. Yeah.
You know, I think it might have been a reference to the old NEX system in that. It was like.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Game Boy 1664, Nintendo 32, and the Xbox 32X. Sorry.
32X. Yep.
Yeah. The 32X,
Jump to T is totally an Easter egg. Yes. Rude Parakeet. Love
yes.
it. Yep.
Absolutely.
The Speakeasy. I've mentioned it while we were reviewing the episode. Is very John Luke, Big Goodbye, Dixon Hill stuff. Very cool. Also Vix from DS9.
Yeah.
100%. Zero's program gave me hardcore data study vibes from All Good Things when he's a professor, I think at Yale or Princeton. I forget which one it was. And then that's what I had. So let's get in. Go ahead. Yeah.
Matt Harker points out the bartender scene was very much like
very
The Shining.
shining.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
shining.
Donnie Darko and The Shining, and then like we're like, this is a kid show.
Shining / Doctor Sleep, because they have that bartender scene in Doctor Sleep as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the music that Woke Doll kind of reminded me too, in that
Of The Shining.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go back and watch this episode again.
Yeah. That music is very haunting. Like I wonder, and same when she's like seeing somebody walk past the door. This is like totally The Shining too.
Yep.
There's a lot of like horror tropes.
Yeah. Let's rate this one, guys. Out of 10 scoops of Jenkum's weird looking yet delicious ice cream. Hawk.
I'm gonna go a 10 on this one. It's just
Wow.
it's like the more we talk about these, I realize how deep these things go and how many layers there are to it, and it just adds to it. Like, I know there's these episodes in that where you feel like sometimes they're just stacking the deck chairs and that to get to the finale and that, but if they were doing it in this one, this is the right way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have no idea where it's going. I cannot tell you what is going to happen in the next episode. I have no idea. Like zero.
Yeah.
It can go anywhere.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Still a 10. 10.
So I really like that episode, but I gave a 9 last week. I'm gonna go with 10 too. It's not because it's not better than Preludes. I think it's as good as Preludes. I got 9.5. 9.5. There were no Romulans, so no, but
no Romulans.
It's like I know it's a different episode, but I think with Preludes we totally flipped the mirror kind of on Prodigy, and now like these last episodes are going darker and darker toward the end of the season, which is going to be a resolution. And as you were saying, it's not like we've seen in other seasons where you have, they give you hints, they give you like information that will help you like solve the puzzle. It's most like layering of feelings, of anxiety, of knots. Like you see more and more of the knots without any idea who is going to solve it, how they're going to solve it, and where it's going. And I'm here for this. This is great. And yeah, there's no theory to have because I don't think that the character at this point don't even know what they're doing themselves and where they're going to go from there. So, yeah.
Hawk, you're right. Like the Dr. Sleep reference you're in the chat works because Jack's talking with his son, and that's Dr. Sleep is probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I have
problems with anything that like hurts kids.
I know that scene is still very hard to watch. I feel you.
But I'm like, okay, but it was a bit anyway. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the last three episodes.
3, yeah. Over on YouTube, let's see. Maggie gives an 8 out of 10. Matt gives it a 7. Preludes was a 10. Chris gives it an 8 at the start simply because it was kids, but 10. Rude Parakeet, 10 out of 10. It was super fun, and it had lip-syncing Murph. Kang, 6.5 out of 10 until we see next week, which may raise the score. And when I first watched this and was thinking about it, I was going to go like a 7 because like I was just more excited about what's to come next week's. But the fact that I went into this episode thinking that I wouldn't have a lot to say, and I think we even said it before I started, like, do we really have a lot to say about this episode? Now we spent over an hour talking about it. This is a very detailed, very deep episode. So for my 7, I'm going to go to an 8.5 out of 10. This is a wonderful episode, especially the end. And I get goosebumps every time I'm thinking of Janeway's face. It just creeps me out in the best kind of way. And that is good television. Cannot wait for next week. Go ahead.
And I'm certain that this is going to be a season when we watch the last episode, we're going to be, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to go back and rewatch everything and be like, how didn't I see that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I hope that's how it's gonna
Yeah.
go. But so far it's so like there's such minutiae in how the writing is going that I'm free episode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Wayner also gives it an 8 out of 10. And with that, I'm going to take it to the subspace to poll and mailbag.
Hailing frequencies are open.
Who's taking the to poll tonight? Oh, Hawk, hit it.
I'd love to. We asked Trek Twitter what they thought of this week's episode, and this is what they had to say. 76% said, putting on the Murph. 11% said, tell, all right. 8% said, yar, not enough pirates. And 5% said, too many overdue books.
Yeah. How does Dahl know about library books? Come on.
Yeah.
No. Aaron writes, best first season since 1966, or so I'm told by those who have seen the rest. Nice.
Listen, I do think Prodigy is serving one of the best first season of Star Trek with Lower Decks. Definitely
Lower Decks.
wonderful.
I know you and I are going to eternally disagree with this, but also Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I'm waiting.
I know.
I want to see the next season, but
I know.
I've not been mind blown. That's the
know,
thing. Prodigy and Lower Decks first season have
Lower Decks blew
blown
my mind.
me.
Prodigy, yeah, this show's freaking fantastic.
Stranger World is good. I don't say it was
Oh
bad.
no,
It
I
didn't
know.
mind-blow me.
I know. I'm not knocking you. Don't worry. I'm not knocking your giraffe ears, which I love so much. They're so awesome. Who wants to take some mailbag from Haven? You took the poll, so giraffe, take Haven's mailbag.
Yes.
Please.
Heaven wrote, "Yo ho, my hearty crew."
You're not gonna do a pirate accent. Come on.
Yo ho, I don't cannot do.
I'll do the.
I already have an
Can I do the
accent.
first line and you could do the rest?
Yes.
Okay. Yo ho, me hearty crew of strange new pod. Yar.
Good job.
Thank you.
Rock said the holodeck was her happy place. I can truly say our collective is my happy place. This episode was absolutely incredible, even with the twist in the last minutes. The only thing that would have made it perfect would have been a big fountain recreation, but that would add more fuel to the fire that Julian is building that Cisco is returning.
Cisco's already back. Read Star Trek's number 1 and 2 out now from IDW Publishing.
Yup.
I'll continue.
I like that. You've come like old prophet, like Cisco is returning. Have you heard the good word?
He better.
Prophet.
He's
Cisco is back.
He's
The
back.
mystery is back.
Thank the prophets. Thank the wormhole
Thank the
aliens.
prophets.
Chris wrote, "How wonderfully what? Whoa,
Wondiferously.
Okay,
Wondiferously.
Wondiferously. Yeah.
Wondiferously
Wondiferous.
chaotic. Thank you. I don't have kids, but found so many scenes just plain cute. I was down for a fun kids romp, but this show had the luxury of phenomenal writing. I kept having to check how much time was left in a good way because there's no way they fit all this in a 25-minute show. It's actually like 23 minutes and some change.
I know. Plus titles. And
Wild. The DS9 love with Murph might be my favorite part. Live logs and proper.
Nice. And why Raleighite wrote, the first few minutes in the simulation were fun and the cliffhanger ending was fun. I zoned out in the middle. It was too kid show for me.
And take us home, Giraffe, with Fernandez.
Fernanda wrote, this show keeps delivering. Oh my god, if whole Janeway isn't pulling all the emotions here. This was the classic holodeck going wild episode with such special twist that makes so perfect sense. That set up such cliffhanger that is it next Thursday yet?
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait for next Thursday. I can't wait. So like the fact that the showdown from the battle drills is now going to happen, hopefully at the start of next week's episode. I can't wait. I can't wait. Leading up to a big finale. And yes, I think Maggie Late asks, have we talked about the fact that the finale is called Supernovas Part 1 and 2 yet?
Oh my god, can I talk about it
IMDb.
now?
You can, because they showed it on Paramount, made a tweet about it, doing all those animations about all the episode titles. So we
Listen, when we got the titles before everybody, I went wild and like just texted everybody being like, what? What you doing with your finger? I was
Sorry,
like,
I
thought you were
have
telling me,
no.
like,
I'm
go
not telling you to wrap
faster.
it up. No, I'm. So my very
Yeah.
quick sidebar because we're going over, but my son was the ring bearer at my friend's wedding. And I haven't returned this yet. I need to return it to them. But it's the one ring, and I'm very fidgety. So it looks like I'm making the let's move on movement, but I'm actually just twisting this around my finger.
So yeah, when I saw the finale's title, I went off. I went on. I texted everybody. I think I texted you all caps. Oh, yes, so I hope it will give us the supernova, the Roman supernova. I mean, they're out of they're out of the neutral zone though. So I feel like I'm not gonna get what I want.
You never know. You never know. We'll see. We'll see.
But I don't know if is it because it's kind of, I don't know, Star Trek Online, is Star Trek Online canon? I don't know.
Star Trek Online is 100% not canon.
So the fact that the Romans set up their own supernova.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. No. Though it sounds very Romulan. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I buy this 1,000%. But again, what an incredible moment in time to be where they are.
Yep. It really is. Yep.
Are we gonna see Spock?
3 more weeks. 3 more weeks of Prodigy.
3 more weeks.
Yes. Cannot wait. That is going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to everyone on the YouTube Collective tonight for joining us in the chat. Thank you, Aaron Walke, for joining us in the chat tonight. Absolute pleasure and a nice surprise. Thank you so much. We will be back next week.
It was just to say Donnie Darko was
just to say Donnie Darko was a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat place to review episode 118 of Star Trek Prodigy, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. That'll do it for Hawk, for Giraffe. I am Julian. I say live long and prosper. Boom, boom. Majram. Good night.